A, an, the. Tiny little words, right? But oh man, they can cause some of the biggest headaches in English. They're called articles, and if you've ever been stumped by them, you are in exactly the right place. We're going to crack the code on how to use them perfectly.
So, what is it about these words? Why do they feel so random sometimes? Well, for a lot of learners, especially if your first language is Bahasa Indonesia, the reason they're so tricky is actually pretty simple.
And there it is. That's the core of it. Your brain is basically searching for a rule or a word that just doesn't exist in your native language. But hey, don't worry. We're about to lay out some clear rules that will make it all just click.
All right, first up, let's talk about a and an. We call them indefinite articles. They both just point to one general thing. Now, the rule for picking which one to use seems easy, but there's a secret that changes everything. Okay, so here's the basic rule you probably learned in school. Use a before a consonant and an before a vowel. You know, a book and apple. Simple enough, right? Well, mostly.
This right here, this is the absolute game changer, the real secret. I want you to forget about spelling for a moment and just listen. The rule isn't about the first letter of a word. It's all about the very first sound that word makes. Seriously, once you get this, everything else falls into place.
And these tricky examples prove it. Just look. Take the word university. It starts with a letter U, which is a vowel. But what's the first sound you hear? It's U. That's a Y sound, which is a consonant, so it's a university. Same for one-way street. That W sound is a consonant. Now let's flip it. The word hour, it starts with an H, a consonant. But the H is silent. The first sound is ow, a vowel sound, so it's an hour. And MBA is a great one. You say the letters, right? MBA. That first sound, M, starts with a vowel sound, so it's an MBA. See? It's all about the sound.
Okay, so that's how we introduce something for the first time. But what happens when we want to get specific? That's when our other friend, the, shows up. You can think of the as a big spotlight you're pointing at something that everyone already knows about. And this little story shows that job perfectly. In step 1, I saw a dog. It's the first time I'm mentioning it. It could be any dog in the world. But the second I mention it again, the dog was black, you know exactly which one I'm talking about. The one from the first sentence. It's not just any dog anymore. It's the dog. We've gone from general to specific. But the is a real workhorse. We also use it for things that are totally unique. I mean, there's only one sun, so it's the sun. Or when the situation just makes it obvious, like if I'm in a room with one door and I say, please close the door, you know which one I mean. You also need the for superlatives, like the fastest or the best, and for certain places on a map, and when you're talking about playing musical instruments. So we've covered a, an, and the. What could possibly be left? Well, our final option, which is sometimes the easiest, is to use nothing. No article at all. This is what we call the zero article. So when do you use no article? Usually when you're talking about things in a very general sense. Think about names of people or places. We say Jakarta is big, not the Jakarta. We say dogs are loyal animals when we mean all dogs in general. The same idea applies to uncountable things like water or music, most sports, meals, and languages. You don't play the football, you just play football.
And here is the best part, especially for you Indonesian speakers. This part should feel the most natural. The whole idea of not using an article for general ideas or for names, that's very similar to how it works in your language. So you've actually got a huge head start here.
Whew, that was a lot of information, I know. So let's pull all of that together into one super simple cheat sheet that you can use anytime you feel a little stuck.
This table really sums it all up. A or an is for when you're talking about one general thing, like asking for any pen. The is when you're talking about a specific pen that we both know about. And the zero article, or nothing at all, is for big general concepts, like music or for proper names. That is the core logic right there. So there you have it. The mystery is gone. You have the rules, you have the logic, you know how to use articles with confidence. So what's the next step? Just start using them. Look around you right now. Pick an object. How would you talk about it? You've got the tools. Now go put them to work.